Hi, good afternoon. This is Suresh Kumar. We're waiting for some more participants to join. So we will give another couple of minutes, then we will start our webinar. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to see all of you through this webinar. Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to this webinar. My name is Suresh Kumar Mani. I'm a chartered accountant. I've done my CPA from the Colorado State Board of Accountancy. I've also done my diploma in IFRS from ACCA UK, and I also hold a degree from Commerce from Bangalore University. And by the way, I'm based out of Bangalore. And it's nice to have a session on Sunday afternoon to talk about CMA. By the way, I'm also one of the faculties, visiting faculties for EduPristine. I've been teaching since last 4-5 years with EduPristine. I take sessions on CPA, CMA, ACCA, and we know so many students in our batches have actually completed their CPA, CMAs through EduPristine. So all excited. And I think we should start a session now. We've given enough time for the participants to join. And also, I'm going to give all of you the right to unmute and speak. In fact, you can go on mute. If at all you have any questions, please raise your hand. Then we can have the discussions. And you can always feel free to stop me in case anything is not clear. In case you want me to explain something in more detailed manner. If you want me to add some additional things, please do so. Just next 1 hour, we will just be focusing on our presentation on CMA. So welcome once again to all the folks in the call. And as I said, let's make this session as interactive as possible. So what are we going to talk today? A lot of things, a lot of interesting things we're going to cover today about CMA. So first and foremost thing that we're going to talk about is, let's give you all the history, the story about how the CMA was started, how many, in the locations this institution is present, how many members the institution is having, and things like that. So first of all, this was an entity which was started in the year 1919 in the US as a not-for-profit entity, and today it has presence in more than 150 countries. And this has more than 125,000 active members as on date. They've got 10 global offices. They've got 300 chapters. They've got 150 CMA review course providers globally. So this institution or this course, CMA as such, is actually growing bigger and bigger and bigger. By the way, we all know the CMA stands for Certified Management Accountant, and this is monitored and managed and administered by institute called IMA, which stands for Institute of Management Accountants. And this institution is today has got 10 global offices. They've got presence in more than 150 countries. And more interestingly, they've got more than 125,000 members as their full-time members of IMAs. So the reason why we are trying to give you this background is, of course, you have to know exactly what is this institution is about. Once you guys are going to complete a CMA, what kind of institution you'll be associated with, and things like that. And as I said, if you see the last part, they've got more than 150 CMA review course providers globally, which means if this is a program which is not run only in the US, it is run across the globe, across this world. There are lots of service providers, and excuse me, and these service providers are enabling a lot of professionals and the students to pursue this course. So we will now come back to India. We'll focus only on India, how this IMA is working towards making the CMA as one of the most respected, most sought professional courses in India also. Today, you see IMA is having association with more than 20 universities and colleges. And I know personally, so many universities and so many colleges have actually introduced CMA as part of their BCom curriculum, BBA curriculum. In other words, they're as part of their commerce curriculum. So the intention of these programs is to enable the students as they're as they're studying their BCom or BBA or any other commerce streams, they are in a position to complete not only the BCom, not only the basic degree, but also come out along with that professional degree like CMA. And there are a lot of colleges today which has enrolled, which has got this as a program, full-time program. Plus, they also provide to some of the students as a part-time program, which means they provide this as an add-on courses to a lot of students. So this IMA has played a very important and a key role in making this program a grand success. And today we have so many institutions that is providing this as a particular course. And why I'm stressing on this is because I'm sure some of you in the call today would be not maybe chartered accountants, maybe cost accountants from ICWAI, or maybe the company secretaries or MBAs and things like that, right? So I'm pretty sure you guys must be also seeing that a lot of individuals are actually coming out with this degree, and there are reasons why you're participating in this webinar to understand whether it makes sense for you to consider this as one of the certification courses so that you can go up in the next level in your career. And is there any opportunities for you to be more successful in your profession? In fact, I see a question. Is the MOU is still valid between ICWAI and IMA? No, there was an excellent question. There was actually a memorandum of understanding between IMA in the US and the Cost and Works Accountants of India, the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. And as per that MOU, if any member of IMA has given their exams outside of India and they have become a member of IMA, they are good to get a membership from ICWAI also. Similarly, ICWAI was also providing the cost accountants the opportunity to become a member of IMA. That was the kind of understanding they had. And I think this has been put on hold now. They have just stopped this from the last 2-3 years, and this is not allowed anymore. Great question. Thank you so much for asking the question. In fact, I would encourage you to please, unmute and, ask these questions. Sai Kumar, you're unmuted. Do you have any questions, Sai Kumar?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Can you please go on mute, sir? If you have any questions, please unmute and then you can talk to me. Thank you.
Sure, thank you, sir.
So, folks, so as I said, there are universities and colleges that's providing this program. And what is happening today is a lot of these folks, a lot of these kids, by the time they complete their BCom, 21 years, they're just going to come out with a degree of certified management accountant that is helping them to become become more successful in getting more jobs easily and in the right industry, and the right opportunities are knocking their doors. You're welcome, Yogesh. Thank you. Right? So this why I'm stressing on this is those days are gone where people used to complete their BCom, BBA, MBA, find a job. Then after 3 years, 5 years, or some time, they understand that they should also get some additional degrees and some additional certifications like these so that they can get promoted easily in their organization. No, those days are gone because students have now been trained about these things right from their college days. Okay, yes, Rajesh, you want to have a question? Go ahead. Rajesh Kumar, you have raised your hand. You have a question? Yes, Mr. Sai, you have a question? You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So may I know what's the role of a CM in a company? What is job profile and what's his role in a company? What he do and
Sure, Mr. Sai. Give me some more time. We are going to talk about those opportunities, the responsibilities, the designations, and things like that in the next few slides. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the opportunities. We're going to talk about what are the steps for somebody to become a CMA, how to become complete the CMA course, how many papers we have, what are the topics covered in this CMA course. Everything is covered. But just
okay,
just
sir.
give me
Thank you, sir.
minutes. Definitely, Sai. Definitely, we'll cover that. Thank you. And Rajesh, you're still raising your hand. You have a question? Please go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, I'm going to know your answer. Yes, good. Super. So I'll move on. So you see the three platinum approved providers of this program, 40 plus active partners and course providers and corporate engagements. In addition to the engagements or the programs this institute IMA is running with the colleges and universities, there are lots of institutions, multinational companies with which there is an association. The CMA program is being run to educate, to train the employees of these multinational companies. There are a lot of MNCs. In fact, the big four audit firms like CPA, the KPMGs, the PwCs or Deloitte or EYs, a lot of such institutions are also, engaging with IMAs to enable their employees to pursue this course. So in short, guys, there's a lot of opportunity. And if you see this graph, about 34% are professionals, while 66% are the students today. See the kind of implication of this IMAs work with these institutions. So they've actually got the members of IMA are today, most of them are students because they're able to complete the courses. So that means if we are professionals, guys, we have lots of challenges waiting because a lot of kids will be having superior knowledge, superior qualifications, and that is going to make a challenge difference. So there was a question from Sai, right? What exactly is the role that can be played? In fact, there's no what we are showing is just a gist, and this is just an exam sample, and there is no such thing called this is it. Okay, there's a question. Is it important to have a bachelor's degree for CMA? Yes, you are going to have both. I will talk about that in some time. Suhesh Kehra. Give me a couple of minutes. We'll talk about that. So the question was, what are the degrees? What kind of designations? What kind of roles can be played? You see, it can be anywhere from the staff accountant going up to the CFO, the CEO level. I have seen many of my friends who are finance managers, who are CFOs, who are controllers, who have got CMA qualification. In fact, of course, once somebody completes CMA, they cannot directly become a CFO. They definitely have to get that, professional experience also. So to begin with, they might join some institutions as accountants, staff accountants, or executives, finance executives, and things like that. Over a period of time, after relevant experiences, they are looked upon as a right candidate for institution for roles like finance managers or controllers or the directors and things like that. In fact, I can give one of the real life instances. A few weeks back, we have a WhatsApp group of all the CFOs in our city, and there was one of the openings that was available. And in the openings, the job requirement was description says, the prerequisites, the job required the qualification of CA or CMA or ACCA or CPA. And there was a debate after that. After seeing that, there was a debate or a kind of a healthy discussion in the group where some people started appreciating that there are now companies which is now opening up their doors not only for chartered accountants but also for other professionals like CPAs, CMAs. Why? Because they started recognize the companies are today open not only to the chartered accountants. Those days, there were times when only CAs were considered for fulfilling the roles like the CFOs, the controllers, the regional head, and things like that. Those things are slowly changing because today companies have realized that they are open to recognizing and recruiting chartered accountants. They're open to recruiting the CMAs, the ACCAs from the UK, the CPAs, and things like that. Why? Because they know that CMAs can play this role, the CPAs can play this role. So what I'm trying to share is there are instances where I have seen that chartered accountants and the CMAs are given equal opportunities. But remember, there's always a difference between a CA, CPA, CMA. One cannot directly become a CFO. Even if a chartered accountant cannot become a CFO. You need to have the experience. You need to work in the respective sections and get yourself groomed, and then get promoted to that level of CFOs. That's more important. Okay, so Mr. Sai, these are the list of opportunities waiting, and I know a lot of my students who have completed have played these roles. In fact, in addition to this, there are a lot of profiles like revenue analysis, M&As, mergers and acquisitions. There are investment bankers. A lot of such opportunities also that's available. Can I open my firm, Sunny? No, you cannot. You're not going to be practicing in Bangalore, in India. No way. To practice as a cost accountant, you need to have the membership from the Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. You cannot get it. If you're a member of IMA, this is a US institution. You cannot open your firm as a cost accountant in India. No, that's not allowed. Good question. In fact, before I go there, okay, there's a question. Sir, is it important to have a bachelor's degree? Yes, madam, there is. In fact, you can complete your, that's what I'm going to see now. You're going to complete your CMA before you get your bachelor's degree, but that is required. So let's look at this. I'm just answering the point. So what are the requirements for becoming a certified management accountant, CMA? First and foremost thing is you should have active membership. In fact, I would put this on top, by the way. But first of all, even to become a student and write the exams, you need to become a member of the IMA Institute. That's a must. It's a requirement. You got to have an active membership as a student of IMA. Then you need to have at least bachelor's degree from any college or university. Then 2 years of work experience, and you should have also completed 2 exams. So what I mean by exams is there are only 2 papers that you have to clear. So I'll spend quite a lot of time talking about these 2 papers in some time. But just a gist of the requirements. One is that you've got to have an active membership. You've got to have 2 years of work experience, bachelor's degree, and the 2 papers. Yes, Sunny, please go ahead. You want to have a question?
So what kind of experience?
Obviously, work experience. You should have worked as an accountant in any companies or a finance executives in any companies. You need to have experience of working in a firm as an accountant. That's what they mean. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so these are the 4 requirements, and I hope I've answered that question, Suhaish Kehra. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your first name properly, Suhesh Kehra. But yes, these are the requirements. You need to have bachelor's degree, then you should complete 2 papers, you should have a membership and relevant experience of 2 years. It's simple, okay? Not very difficult at all, very simple. We'll talk about the exams at some time. Yes, please. Yes, Abhishek.
I told you good afternoon.
Sorry, Abhishek. You're talking to me?
I told you good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Abhishek. Tell me. Yes, you have a question?
No question.
Okay. Thank you. No, if you do not have a bachelor's degree, you cannot. Because that's a requirement. Bachelor's degree from a college is required. Any major is fine. It can be accounts, finance, whatever. Okay. What are the exam testing pattern? That's the reason why, it's very important that we should do our BCom degree, BBA degree, BSc degree, whatever. We need to have at least some kind of a degree to ensure that, in fact, we all underestimate our commerce graduations or post, the first grade qualifications to a large extent. In fact, when I was doing my CA also, I did my CA foundation and I was doing my BCom together. And I wanted to complete my BCom. I didn't know the value of BCom. I thought, okay, let me finish it anyways. But actually, without that, I would have not got a visa to the US also, because they consider BCom, these kind of 3 years courses, proper courses, as a basic qualification for any individual. So without that, they don't consider you to be eligible for any other professional courses. So coming to the exam testing, the exam is available, can be written anywhere in the world. It's all computer-based examinations. It's available anywhere. You can write either in Bangalore or in Calcutta or in Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Cochin, you name it, it's available. Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Pune, everywhere. In India, or go to Singapore and write it, go to Australia and write it, go to the US and write it, go to Canada and write it. You can write anywhere in the world. It's available across the globe. And you can write your exams 3 times in a year. That is either in Jan, February, or May and June, and September and October. Plus, you just have to focus on 2 papers. Just 2 papers. There are only 2 papers you have to clear. They call it as part 1 and part 2 papers. I've completed my MBA. I'm a fresher. Can I do the course? Definitely, definitely. Rajesh, before I think you joined, we were talking about the opportunities that's available. I think you were there, man. Come on, Rajesh. I was talking, right? IMA has got a tie-up with the colleges, wherein students who are doing their BCom are given this as a course. And I know my students are completing their CMA even before the BCom, but they don't get the CMA degree qualification one because they have to complete their BCom. So in short, yes, if you have if you're a fresher but done MBA, definitely you can appear for the exams, and within a year or two you'll become a professional. You'll have it. I can definitely give you exams. There's no problem with that. Okay, coming back to the questions or the number of chapters, number of papers. There are only 2 papers that you have to write, and the papers are called as part 1 and part 2. And you can write the part 1 first, or part 2 first, part 2 first, second, and part 2 second. Which what I mean is you can write any part first. There's no compulsion that you have to first write your first part and then go to the second part. No way, that is not the case. You can give your part 1, or you can give your part 2 first, and then you can prepare for the next part and complete your exams. And the beauty is you don't have to write both the papers together also. For example, somebody writes it in January and February. After this, after 2 months, they go and write their part 1. First they write part 2, they write part 1. Good, that's doable. You don't have to write both part 1 and part 2 in January and February. In the same day you should write. No, nothing of that sort. They give you so much of flexibility that you can first prepare your part 1 in January, February, and next year, January, February, you can write your part 2 also. That is okay. But the requirement is that you have to complete both the parts, part 1 and part 2. Okay, and we say that on an average, students complete this course within a period of 12 months to 18 months, but I would even bring it down to just 8 months to 10 months. I have seen quite a lot of my students are smart. They do this. They try to complete the courses within a period of 8 months to maximum 10 months. Okay, worst case scenario, 1 year, guys. You should not go drag it beyond that. Why I'm saying this is because there are only 2 papers, boss. Just 2 chapters, 2 subjects. Just 2, I won't say subjects. There are only 2 parts. And so easy, man. It's not like, CA where you used to have 2 groups and each group used to have 4 subjects or 4 papers, right? Nothing of that sort. There's only 1 part, only 6 chapters in that part 1. 6 chapters in part 2. That's it. And you have to just complete the exam and you're there. You'll be called a CMA. This is what I'm referring to. You see the list of part 1, financial planning, performance and control is what we call it as part 1. What does it include? We'll go to the next topic. That's easy. Or by the way, before we go there, I also wanted to look at this. Each exam part will consist of 100 multiple choice questions and 2 30 minutes essay questions. Passing marks is 360 out of 500. And there is no negative markings. There is no negative markings. Understood? So you need to get 72%. That's all in total. And there are 100 MCQs and 2 essay type questions. Beauty is you will be able to complete these course, or you just have to. When I say multiple choice questions, like "Kaun banega crorepati?" Abhishek Bachchan comes and says, he gives you the question and gives you the answer also. That's the beauty of these 100 questions. They'll give you the situation, they'll give you the question, they'll also give you the options, and you need to choose the option that is correct. That's all. What else you want, boss? It's so easy. But choosing the option is where you'll have to be trained. That's where the institution like EduPristine comes in. They help students to answer such questions. We'll talk about the help that is being given by EduPristine in some time. Yes, Abhishek, go ahead. You have a question? Go ahead.
Sir, essay means with the case studies.
Sorry, who's speaking? Is it Rajesh or Abhishek? I see both of you unmuted.
Sir. Sir.
Yes, Abhishek, tell me.
Paper will be of 500 marks.
Paper will be what, sir?
500 marks, 500.
So can you please type your questions? I'm not able to understand what you're saying. Yes, Rajesh, can you please tell me?
Do essay means like as a case studies?
Yes, yes. Essays will be like case studies. They'll give you a situation, they'll give you a problem, they'll give you a story, and you will have to understand the story. And there'll be questions. They'll ask you, what is the meaning of budget? What is the different types of internal control? Or what is the situation? How do you handle the situation? Things like that.
Okay. Case studies are on the computers with the
Yes,
typing.
it is a computer-based exams. Yes, there is no pen and paper. It is a computer-based exam. There will be, you have to go to a programmatic center. You will have to, they will be given a computer and keyboard, of course, and mouse, and you'll have to type the answers there.
Oh, you like as thinking typing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Rajesh. So guys, let's focus on the questions now. I mean the part 1, part 2 topics. If you see the part 1, it's known as financial planning, performance and analytics. You see, the first chapter talks about external financial reporting decisions, which completely talks about accounting standards. How should you maintain your books of accounts? How do you recognize the income? When do you recognize the income? How do you measure the liabilities? How do you report them? Disclosures and things. It's like, they talk about the entire accounting standards. Here you learn not only the US-CMA but also IFRS. So they completely talk about IFRS and US-CMA in one chapter. Next, you got topics like planning, budgeting, forecasting. Then you got performance management. They got cost accountancy or cost management, internal controls. They also talk about technology and analytics. Technology and analytics. And these are the 6 chapters. And these 6 chapters is part of your part 1. And this is for 500 marks. So you have to get 360 to clear it. And the beauty is only 6 chapters. And you know what? They will make you an expert in each of these areas. Like, for example, they'll talk about cost management. Here you will learn about what is a cost sheet, what are the costs, the various types of, overhead allocations like activity-based costing or traditional method of costing. There are different costing systems like process costing, job costings. They'll talk about standard costing, all that is covered here. Similarly, when it comes to the budgeting and forecasting, they talk about things like what is a budget, what is a master budget, what is the participants of the budgets, how the budget is prepared, what are the different types of budget, what are the different types of forecasting. Similarly, you got internal controls. They talk about what is internal control, what are the procedures and processes that should be followed, how to design a process. And technology talks about what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning. And in fact, in case of technology, please don't think that you're going to be asked to do programming and all that. No, that is not the intention. They want you to understand what are the different developments that's happened in technology, how technology can be used by accountants and companies today to make the company's processes more efficient and accurate. Yes, paper will be for 500 marks, guys. Each paper is for 500 marks. We are able to give exam, CMA exam first. If you have not, if you don't have bachelor degree also, yes, you can first complete your CMA course. Yes, you can write your exams. But to get the membership as a then CMA, then you'll have to complete your BCom. That's important. So coming to the second part, strategic financial management. You got chapters. There's again 6 chapters. This is, in fact, I see most of my students are able to clear part 2 more easily than part 1 because this has got more of problems. Except this risk management and professional ethics, all the 4 topics are just problems. And you will understand, you'll enjoy this because it is like, you already studied these things in your BCom. I'm sure all of you know what is break-even point. I'm sure you all know what is break-even point. That is what is cost, volume, profit analysis. That's what is covered in this topic. I'm sure you all know what exactly is, elasticity of demand. What is law of demand? What is law of supply? All that is what is covered in this. I'm sure. Oh, yes, you have a question? Who's this? Yes, Sunny, go ahead.
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. And we also have topics like, capital budgeting, which means the questions will come from the topics where you are supposed to be analyzing the situation and say whether you have to invest in a project or not, which means you will be doing IRR, net present value, payback period methods. All that is covered in your investment decisions. If you talk about this corporate finance, we talk about working capital. What is current? The accounts receivable ratios. How do you manage the working capital? How do you invest? What is the We talk about foreign exchange markets, what is hedging, derivatives. In case of financial statement analysis, we talk about financial ratios like current ratios, asset test ratios, debt equity ratios, return on investments, profit ratios, and things like that. So it's all very simple. That's the reason why I think my students feel part 2 is easy, because they've already studied these things in their normal BCom classes itself. So if you look at these two parts, that's all. Only these two parts you have to remember. Part 1 is financial planning, performance and analytics, while part 2 is strategic financial management. And only these two, if you see, BCom itself doesn't have such a less amount of things to cover. Yeah, our BCom, even one semester or 1 year of BCom doesn't have only so many things. There's so much to study in BCom. But this professional course has made it so simple. They just want you to understand, learn, and write only these topics. Let me also tell you that though we are going to have only these chapters, each chapter is a subject by itself. Let me tell you why I say that. If you see this professional ethics, it's all about your ethical behavior as a member of IMA, how you should be behaving. What are the expectations from a member, and how do you, what are the principles that you have to follow, and things like that. Similarly, when it comes to this risk management, it talks about how do you manage a risk, what is the company's risk, what are the different ways you can respond to the risk. So each of these is a subject by itself. Maybe I can say that see, decision making and investment decisions are one and the same. This can be one subject, and this can be another subject. Likewise, if you see cost management is nothing but cost accounting. This is nothing but your accounting. All this is your management accounting. Correct? So they've made these topics 2 chapters by bringing some subjects together. And I'm not trying to scare you that it's going to be very hard or large to study, but I'm telling you that these 2 parts have been designed in such a way by IMA. They want the members of the IMA to be updated and be ready to take up any role that is going to be available in the market. You guys can go, step in and do anything that is needed. I can recruit you in my company for handling any planning, budgeting in my finance department, or I can recruit you in the accounting department because you have the knowledge of accounting, GAAP, US GAAP, IFRS, or I may recruit you in my internal control system, SOX. Because you can do this internal controls and your knowledge of risk management, or I may recruit you in my M&A department or investment treasury department because you'll have the idea of what is analysis, how do you do it, and things like that. Okay, Venkatesh P's question is, can we take IMA membership after completing the course? First of all, to get write the exams, it's a Venkatesh, you need to first get your membership from IMA, because that is a prerequisite to be a student and write the exams. You need to have the membership. We'll talk about that in some time. I think there's one slide about the membership fees and things like that. I'll show that. So this is all about the support that you get from the IMA, like they give you help in terms of get the certification of CMA or certification in strategy and competitive analysis. They are present globally. There were a lot of communities they help. There are a lot of career opportunities they help you with. They give you continuous education so that you keep updating yourself with the updated technologies and standards and things like that. And what are the benefits? I think this is what will be running in many people's mind. What is the real reason why should somebody become a CMA? I'm just going to refer to the important slides. And if you look at the first part, it talks about the salary that is getting or that has been earned by a CMA in the US. See, in the US, generally you see the salary of a CMA on average is at least 28% more than the non-CMAs. A person without CMA or CPA degree, he generally is getting a superior compensation, which is about 28% or more. Okay. Likewise, globally, you see, CMAs get more than 50% than anybody else. That's a global standard. Only in the US, because of the cost of living and things like that, they get 28%. But across the globe, their salary is at least 50%. On average, they get 50% more. And that's the truth. That's a fact. I've seen people, a person who is completing BCom, a person who's completing BCom and CMA, they both go for the job interviews. They both get selected. A person with BCom gets, say, 4 lakh rupees. A person with CMA will get 5.5 lakh rupees for sure, because of his additional thing. And he will be able to grow faster in the career. In fact, I don't want to name the company, but I know some of my students have joined after 10 years of experience, some courses like CPA or CMA. They tell me, sir, I'm not able to get promotions in my companies because I was a campus interview. I've joined this company 10 years, 12 years back. And from last 5 years, I'm playing the same role, same designation, but my juniors are becoming my managers because they are chartered accountants or they are CMAs or they are CPAs. And because of which now I have to complete this. Otherwise, I will never be able to grow to the next level and I will not be able to be successful in my profession. Yes, Sunny, you can definitely find a job in US, in Canada, in Dubai. In fact, there's a lot of opportunities in UAE, folks. I'll talk about this opportunity in a couple of slides. But you know what? Okay, let me talk now itself. The opportunities for CMAs are very, very high in Dubai, in UAE. Why? Because I was in Dubai about 2 years back. I met my friend there and I was there on a trip. And he was my student, by the way. When I say my student, he was my student, he was my colleague, he worked with me. And when I was in Dubai 2 years back, 2019 October, he told me that there are a lot of opportunities today in Dubai. Why? Dubai was not a tax-free country. It was not a taxable country, but from last few years they've introduced VAT, and a lot of people are pursuing CMA because it's easy for them to complete just 2 papers, and they need a lot of accountants now. And a lot of people in Dubai are doing this course, and a lot of Indians are on demand. A lot of people are getting migrated to UAE, Dubai, and all that to get good job. They get handsome salary, great salary. They get good compensations. So in short, yes, if you're looking for opportunities outside of India, yes, there are huge opportunities. You can go to Canada, you can go to Australia, you can go to countries like Singapore also. There's quite a lot of opportunities because CMAs are different from CPAs, guys. Because CMAs are more towards management accounting, analysts. They're more like an analyst. They are more into MIS. They're more into financial management things. So such responsibilities are available across. But if you're a CPA, the job is, in addition to that, you will be specializing in compliances. You'll be specializing in auditing. That's the beauty of CPA. But you're being a CMA or a management accountant, you'll be on demand everywhere in the world. Okay. Next, I think we spoke about other things. It's recognized globally. Then what is the value of a CMA? Once you become a member of a IMA and called yourself a CMA. In fact, you can call yourself a CMA Suresh Kumar or CMA Venkatesh or CMA Abhishek, CMA Sunny. You can call yourself once you complete your course and get the fulfill other conditions. So of course, as a CMA, you'll be a professional. You'll have respect. You'll have lot of prestigious. The designation is a prestigious designation. You'll be very, very competent. You'll be empowered because of the designation. You'll be promoted. You will have more authority. And of course, of all these things, most important thing is you'll be a professional, man. You'll be a professional. That's more important. See, today when I say I'm a chartered accountant, it's a great feeling that I get when I say I'm a CA boss. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a CPA because these are professional degrees that I have got against my name, next to my name, because of which I feel very proud, and I have a pride when I say these things. It means a lot. It's not easy to get these degrees, right? But only few people get it because we fight for it. We want to be successful in life. So once you complete this, you'll be calling yourself as CMAs, CMA Sunny or Sai Kumar or Rajesh. That's doable. And who should get a CMA? I mean, this is self-explanatory, boss. Anybody. Whoever wants to be successful in life, whoever wants to be successful, either in getting a better job or who's already in a wonderful company, wants to get promoted to the next levels, you should. And this is, as I said, this is self-explanatory because I'm sure many of you must be already have done CAs or CAs or MBAs or looking for some better jobs or just completed your BCom and looking for better opportunities. The opportunities are huge. And you see, if I'm going to recruit an accountant now, forget about the salary, guys. Let's keep the salary part aside. Let me talk practically. Say I've got an opening for somebody to do a job in my company. I send out a resume. I send out a job opening to my HR, and HR sends me a resume. One resume of a BCom, one resume of a BCom plus CMA. Which one do you think I'll be choosing? Naturally, I'll give preference to the second one who's done BCom plus CMA because it is easy for me to train CMAs. It will be easy for me to give them the task, and it will be easy for me to even get the work done from the CMAs, because you are tuned, you are, you know, um, uh, trained to be taking up the pressure. You are going to be trained to understand the concepts, and you are more definitely knowledgeable than the BCom graduate. Forget about the salary in this case. First of all, getting a job becomes important here. And when it comes to this, obviously, CMAs will have upper hand. Their profile will be first picked up. Even BCom guy may not even be invited for the interview. Assuming that guy is much more smarter than the CMA, but just by looking at this profile, first resume we should be talking about what you are, right? So by taking up the resume, I will be rejecting the BCom guy. I'll be taking only the CMA profiles and do the interview of CMA profiles, right? That is where these things become a very important things to have in life. And somebody say, I've got already a profile. I already have BCom graduates. I've got CAs. I already have a, you have a job. And now I'm the manager who's going to promote. Who's going to be promoted? Naturally, the person who's performing well. Degree becomes secondary, okay? Person who's knowledgeable, whose experience becomes important there. But then, if somebody who's equally on par, and CMA is the course that you have completed now, you will be definitely 3-4 steps ahead of the guy who has not completed the BCom. You both have started the career together. After 5 years, one of you have decided to do CMA, and you have become a CMA by end of the 6th year. 6th year, who will be recognized? Is it going to be you or the person who has done only BCom and still with the company for 5 years? You also have 5 years, but you have done your CMA now. Don't you think I'll be promoting the man who has done CMA because he's now qualified to be playing a manager role, go to the next level? Yes, Sunny, go ahead. You have a question? Unmute yourself and talk, man.
So why the 2 years of experience are required? Can you please tell me?
I have not set the rule, Sunny.
Oh, okay.
What I mean is, it's not that it's been designed by us. Okay, the intention, logic behind having some experiences. You tell me, Sunny, I don't know how many years experience you have, Sunny, and what years your background. Let me take. You want to share your?
Sir, I'm a college student right now.
Okay.
Last year of my graduation.
Okay, so let's take your case itself, Sunny. You become a CMA. You completed your BCom. You've done your CMA. Can I just give you the degree and say, boss, this guy is qualified, certified management accountant now? See, you're putting the entire institution at stake. You may have the experience of writing the exams, knowledge, theoretical knowledge, but practically, where have you got? So before the certification, before I give you the degree, CMA degree, I need to ensure that Sunny is not only has completed the exam, but he also has some experience, so that I can give him the degree, I can give him the certificate, I can make him my ambassador, IMA's ambassador. He can go out and say, I'm Sunny, CMA Sunny. I can work in financial institutions. I can work in corporates. I have done this. I've got this experience. I've got this knowledge. That's where the difference comes, Sunny. So this is all about getting the membership, Sunny. But you know what is happening today practically? Nobody's looking for those membership, meaning the CMA degree. Have you completed your CMA course? Have you completed the 2 papers? That is what they're checking now. If you see the campus interviews that's happening today, they're recruiting people because they're doing either they are in the final stage of completing CMA Part 2, or they have completed CMA Part 2 and Part 1, and they just need the experience to get the certificate as a member or a CMA. So they don't mind. They just want you to, they know that it's just a question of experience, which is not relevant for the recruiters. They're just recruiting people. Hope this answered your question, Sunny. Thank you, sir. So this is one of the examples, one of the openings that was available recently in Amazon, where they wanted a BCom plus CMA from US. They had 4 openings. See, this is just, I'm not joking. If you want, you can go Google and see. Amazon actually looks for CMA, CPS, BCom, ACCA, and all that. They are open to any graduates now. They want somebody with professional degree, CMA or CPA or ACCA, or of course CA. Okay, this is all the events that has been done by CMA, IMA on a regular basis. Yes, Sai Kumar, you have a question?
Sir, what's that Amazon will pay for a fresher CMA USA?
I don't know, sir. It varies from company to company, but we see that the average salary for a fresh CMA with no experience, it should be around 5 to 7 lakh rupees easily. 7 lakhs, man. Nothing, nobody comes below that nowadays.
Okay.
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 But generally, no, that is a range. That is a range.
Yeah.
5 to 7. It also depends on how you negotiate, Sai, how impressive you are in the interview, how much value you bring to the table. Okay, that also matters. But the budget is around 5 to 7. Okay.
Okay,
And
sir.
it may be more also in some cases, Sai. Forget about Amazon. There could be Flipkarts. There could be companies like Cognizance or Wells Fargo or Accentures. Those guys also recruit these professional courses, professionals, and they maybe give you 10 lakhs, 9 lakhs.
Okay.
With experience, also your salary increases, boss. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. And now, guys, with this, I'm done with my CMA discussion. But I'm going to talk about why you should be choosing Becker. In fact, even before I talk about this, let me tell you, I did my CPA from Becker in the year 2007. About 14 years back, when I was living in the US, I completed my CPA. And I was a student of Becker. I did my CPA using Becker material. And today, I didn't know that when I was giving my exams and using Becker, that I will be one of the faculty standing and teaching Becker material. God's grace, it happened. Okay. So now, why I'm saying, why did I share this history? If you want, you can check my credentials now. If you want, it's all black and white. I was a student. And why I'm telling this is because I like Becker. Why? Because of this simple reason that I became a CPA in the first attempt, only because of Becker material. Even before I talk more about it, I want all of you to recall when you were in your first standard, second standard, in primary school, what used to happen in your school days? Our teachers used to take classes from June to February, and before March, our teachers used to give us 30 questions as revision questions. And what we used to do as students, go and study those 30 questions and sit for the exam, and questions are going to come only from those 30 questions, isn't it? Likewise, Becker materials are designed in such a way that they don't give you the entire syllabus. Rather, they give you only those things that are relevant from the exam point of view. Their intention is that they want you to be successful in the examination. So they will try to remove all the things that is not relevant from the exam, and they give you only the contents which are relevant and important from the exam point of view. So this Becker is like 30 revision questions. If you read those 30 revision questions, your final exam becomes easy, right? You're sure to pass, right? Likewise, if you study Becker material, they give you only the relevant contents and you're through. You're sure to be clearing your exams. I'm not sure if, yes, Rajesh, you have a wonderful question. Like CA Institute and ICA, I don't think there are any material that's been supplied by IMA, Rajesh, but I can find out for you. That's a wonderful question, man. I've never thought about it. But you know what? Why don't you send an email to our, EduPristine guys? They can help you out. But you know what? Even if they give you material, that may not be sufficient. I tell you why in some time. Okay. So coming back to this. So if you have the 30 questions, you're good to pass, right? Likewise, they will give you material in such a way that they just cover the one that is relevant. And before we talk about these things, I want to just highlight this. Becker is an institution which is in the market for more than 60 long years. 60 long years. And it's one of the most preferred educational institutions by a lot of multinational companies, especially these big fours. They know the value of Becker, and so they are associated with Becker. And if you see this, more than 1 million candidates have prepared with Becker. When I say 1 million, it's not only for CMA, CPA, ACCA, all kind of courses, IRS courses, everything. They've got more than 1 million students who are prepared with Becker. Top 100 accounting firms rely on Becker for their staff examination preparations. 2,900 accounting firms, companies, alliances, government agencies, and universities choose Becker across the globe. And it's a fact. It's beautiful. When you read it, man, you will understand why. You will definitely understand how much of difference it has made in your life by choosing this Becker. It will be easy for you to clear exams. I'm serious about it. And by the way, I was talking about this, right? Part 1, part 2. Don't think it's a big book, okay? It's such a small, tiny book. That's all. This is your part 1, this is your part 2. It may be running about 300 to 400 pages. That's all you should know. Each chapter is about, say, 100 pages or 70 pages. And six times of that, about 300, 400 pages. That's all. And remember, in addition to these books, you will also be given online access wherein you will have ebook. Plus, more importantly, I told you, right, the exam pattern is you'll have 100 MCQs. So there will be more than 2,500 practice questions, MCQs, that will be provided for you. And that is the secret for your success. Even if you have books, that's not enough. You need to have these multiple choice questions, MCQs, because many people have failed the exams because they just studied the book but not done the MCQs. I know many of my students who have not done it because they just think, I know the concept will go. No, you should do lots of MCQs, because a lot of times you will be able to, though you know the concept, how do you apply it becomes easy when you solve these kind of MCQs. Then you have a lot of essay type questions. Then you have mock questions. They've got examination tips. They've got study planner. They've got quiz assessments, so on and so forth. This is the beauty. This is what they offer. Becker offers. In addition to this, you see EduPristine, which is part of Becker, they provide sessions online, and physical classes are provided. Live classes and virtual classes are provided. In addition to this, they also provide after sales services, and most importantly, they also provide the recordings of these sessions made available to the students, so that the students can access it. For some reason they have not attended the classes, they can access the recordings, or if they have attended but still they have not able to understand, they want something to be revised, want to rehear what was told in the class, they can always go back to the recordings and understand what has been discussed and told. That's the beauty of these recordings and these sessions. And I remember one of my very favorite students, he was doing CPA, and he tells me, sir, I mean, he joined CPA, and he was doing physical classes, but they have given some of my own recordings of auditing and accountancy to some students. And this man tells me, sir, I actually know I have to travel about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to my office in the cab. And back home is about another hour. So every day, 2 hours, I just play your recording, put the headset and listen to it. And your concepts are much simpler, so I'm able to understand. I'm not trying to praise me. I'm not trying to tell what I've done. I'm just trying to tell you that this is the kind of offering they give it. And remember, I may not be a faculty. It may be somebody else who's going to teach you. But the quality will be the same. It will be much better also. And more importantly, when I say live classes and virtual classes, they are going to give you 24/7 online access to the program material. When I say program material, I mean there are already recorded sessions that's available in the websites, which is available, and that's given only to the students, because only students can have access to such things. And if you see that, it's not going to be me, it's not going to be any of my faculty friends. It's going to be a pre-recorded recording of the faculty, one faculty who has been teaching the CMA, who's author from the US. And that is what is given not only to the students in India, but across the globe. Becker ensures they maintain the same quality, same standard across the globe. They ensure everyone gets the same support. They ensure that everyone gets the same kind of quality and material, and ensure that everybody gets the same treatment when they complete their courses. Meaning they give the same opportunity for them to complete the courses. So they are, when it comes to classroom sessions, you have 175 plus hours, that is 30 weeks of physical classes. You get 24/7 access to the material, that is online textbooks, videos, recordings, question banks, things like that. Plus, you are going to have sessions by industry experts. By the way, I'm also employed in one of the multinational companies. I do this teaching because I love teaching. I've been teaching right from my 9th standard. Okay. Then, when you're doing virtual classes, you'll have no physical classes. It's going to be webinars like these, online sessions like these. We'll have video recording. We'll have sessions taken like this, and those things will be made available. So this just stop the fees. I know most of you must be waiting to know what exactly is the cost. So this is the cost structure, guys. I think, you know what, I don't want to talk about these fees and all that. And I'm pretty sure you can talk to the counselors. They can help you. But I can talk about this IMA fees, because this is something, you know, set by the IMA. And you see, if you're a student, I know, Sunny, you are a student, right? If for making the annual membership of IMA is about $39 for you. But if you're working, somebody is a professional, it's $245. Then there is an entrance fees of $250, which is valid for 3 years, and you have to pay a fees of $415 per paper. $415 per paper is the exam fees. This is what you have to pay. Okay, this is the fee structure for IMAs. Plus, in addition to that, if you are looking at only getting physical classes, then you get classes in Bombay, Pune, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Or if you want online sessions, it's done across You have to just pay 85,000 rupees. This is all including taxes. It's all done online. The classes are on Saturdays and Sundays, but if it's physical classes, it's going to be only on Sundays from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And if it's a textbook, even only the material is also available. They just give you a textbook and you have to study on your own. Of course, with the textbooks, you get all the other access also. Meaning you won't be able to attend the online classes or physical classes. Other than that, you get all the benefits. So this is all about the fees, guys. But you know what? I really like this statement, man. It's like as if it applies to me also, because I'm an art negotiator. I always try to negotiate really, really hard to get the best at the less prices. Okay. The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. Beautiful, right? We would have negotiated. I would have got a best discount and all that. Okay. But the problem is, I was so happy that boss, I was able to negotiate, got a good deal. But problem with that is, it comes with poor quality, which will be much more longer impacting item compared to the sweet that I'm going to enjoy, the happiness that I'm going to have for the reduced prices. So remember, everything comes with the price. You want good quality, there's definitely going to be a premium. If you want poor quality, that comes with a cheap price. So don't go with the prices. That's what the point is. But you know what? Personally, I think this price is very much in line with other competitors that I don't know why they have to put this, but still, I feel this is the fees that other competitors are providing today. Anyways, with this, I'm done with my session, but I would like to open this forum for any questions, and you please go ahead and unmute yourself if you have any questions, and let's have a conversation now. Go ahead, guys. Come on, tell me. Anyone has any questions, any topics that you want me to repeat again, anything that you want me to explain, please do it. Ask now. Anybody? Okay. What do you mean with please tell me? Okay, sir, presently I'm exam. Yes, please, Abhishek. Bataiye, sir.
Can you send me recording of this session?
Yes, sir, it's available. You can ask for the ask the EduPristine team to send this. They'll send it to you.
Can you send me recording of this session?
Okay, I said please write to the counselor who approached you, or write to this email ID care@edupristine.com. They'll help you out, sir. They'll definitely. Otherwise, I'll tell them also to send a copy to you. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm reading the question from CAS, which says, so presently I'm appearing for exam 12, but the exams are postponed. Can I start my exams? I would suggest you can, but you know what? Definitely you can. You can definitely. No, nothing wrong in this. Total tuition fees is what? You saw that fees, no, Rajesh? It was 1 lakh rupees or 85,000 rupees.
What will be two book name?
Huh?
Two book name?
Two book name. Becker,
Yes.
Becker book. Becker
Yes.
part 1, Becker CMA part 2.
Financial and costing.
Yes, please tell me what's the question.
बुक ने फाइनेंशियल कॉस्टिंग है.
अभिषेक, आपका क्या बैकग्राउंड है यार, बताओ. What have you done?
मैं बीकॉम की है.
There's nothing like that, okay? That's what I'm saying. Book का कुछ नाम नहीं है. It's called Becker CMA Part 1, Becker CMA Part 2. That is the name of the book.
Okay.
That we provide. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Because our Indian system has authors, right? You have different authors for different books. But here it's only Becker provides that material, part 1 and part 2. Yeah. Any other questions, people? Anybody else has any questions? Rajesh, I hope I answered your question, Rajesh. Total tuition fees. Is that clear?
Okay, sir. Clear.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Good. Anybody else has any questions? Let me know now. Okay, good. So silence. So guys, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure meeting all of you. It was very happy to meet all of you through the webinar. And I really ask all of you to please stay indoor. The situation, as you all know, the situation is not that great in our country now. Let's try to fight against this COVID. Let's stay safe and let's take care of ourselves. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself and have a good Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.